Hello everybody. We're going to do a video answering a question that I was asked recently, and I thought it would be a good subject for a video. So the question is, can I overfeed my baby on the breast? And so I want to talk about the issue with overfeeding and what that risk is, and can I overfeed at the breast or in the bottle? Is it just formula that overfeeds a baby, but can breast milk in a bottle overfeed a baby as well? So that's what we're going to talk about today. It shouldn't be a very long video because it's pretty simple, straightforward answer. But if you have any further questions about it, then definitely leave them in the comments below, and I will answer any extra questions that come out of it. So let's first talk about overfeeding and how that is possible and why. So we're going to start with the biggest way that we can overfeed our baby, and that's going to be through a bottle. And that's typically why you hear that a baby who's breastfed has a less risk of becoming overweight as an adult or even as a young child. And the reason for that is that with a bottle, a baby cannot stop the flow of the milk that comes. And babies tend to suck not just when they feed, but as a way of soothing and putting themselves to sleep as well. So as soon as a pacifier or something that they can suck goes in their mouth, they will drink, eat, whatever. and even you will notice that they will even suck on an empty bottle because they're sucking on that nipple. So overfeeding a baby, whether it's breast milk or formula in a bottle, is easily done. And how can you know what your baby should be eating? Typically, I would say, you talk with your doctor and find out what is the normal amount of ounces a baby should feed according to their weight and their growth and all that kind of things. I will say this, 8-ounce bottles, I don't know why they ever made them. Imagine you drinking, as an adult, you drink down a 16-ounce bottle of water all within 5 minutes. How uncomfortable you feel. Now, yeah, you can get away with drinking. Your body needs the water, but it doesn't. 16 ounces is a lot for your stomach. And so the same with an 8-ounce bottle. It doesn't really matter how old the baby is. 8 ounces is way too much all at once. It's okay to get 8 ounces over a certain period of time, but not 8 ounces all within 10-15 minutes. That's way too much milk. And where they come up with the idea of the 8-ounce bottles, I don't know, because really, even when a child is 1 year old, you will hear that 4 to 6 ounces is all that they're expected to be drinking. As they get older, they're going to eat food and that kind of thing. But before they're eating food, which is 6 months and under, they shouldn't really drink more. 6 ounces is like tops. 4 ounces is really what you should be looking for. And a baby can eat more often that 4 ounces, but you don't want to like shove in 6, 7, 8 ounces. It's just too much and it stretches the stomach. And they're not going to stop the milk from coming. They're going to drink it till it's gone because they're already sucking. So that leaves the question, can a baby overeat on the breast? And that is not possible. And the reason for that is a baby sucks. There's 2 ways that a baby sucks. They suck to soothe themselves, and there is no work in that type of a suck. But to feed, it's work. There's a certain way that they have to suck in order to get the milk and in order to feed. And typically, once they're satisfied, they will stop. They'll fall asleep. The nipple will come out of their mouth. They'll let go. But a baby feeding at the breast for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, it's typically not a straight feed. They're not actually feeding for 45 minutes. They're sucking, sleeping, feeding, and the difference is in the jaw and you hearing them swallow. They can be sucking on your breast and not drinking at all. So you have to be looking for that active feeding. And if they're taking a really long time on the breast and you're trying to get them to just eat, then you have to do some things to keep them awake, make sure they're actively feeding. When they're not actively feeding, there's ways that you can compress the breast so that the milk sprays into their mouth and they kind of like wake up and start sucking and drinking again. But they typically, they're not going to overeat on a breast. Just like I said, they will suck, but not always, it won't be, if they're eating for 45 minutes, if you're hearing 45 minutes of feeding, then they're probably not feeding correctly and they're not getting the milk the way they should be getting it. But typically in a 45-minute feed, let's say, which is when they're at the breast sucking for however long, probably 15 to 20 minutes of that is actual eating. And you cannot overeat on the breast just because, like I said, it's also slower flow. It's not like the bottle doesn't come out the same amount of time. That's why they can finish a bottle quicker. The flow is slower. And like I said, it's a lot more work and they get tired. So they stop feeding. They might suck, but they're not actually eating. And if you eat slow, you get full faster. So your goal for them is to actively eat. 15 to 20 minutes is a good indication of a good feed. We don't time them anymore, but just if you're kind of like trying to see if they're actually feeding, you're looking for the jaw movement, no puckering of the cheeks, and you're listening for a suck, suck, swallow pattern. If they're just sucking and there's no swallowing, then they're not actually feeding. So you're trying to look for that suck, suck, swallow pattern. You're trying to find out exactly what they're doing at their breast. Are they pacifying themselves and falling asleep? Or are they actively eating? And as they get older, they will use the breast for what it's for. They will suck and drink and eat, and then you'll know when they're done because you'll feel it in the breast and you'll have more experience with it. And then they may just try to use you as a pacifier till they fall asleep. But typically, feeding does induce sleepiness because it's work. A baby who has jaundice is a lot more sleepier, so they can be on the breast a lot longer and not actually be feeding. So there's ways to take them off, wake them up, get them feeding actively so you're not sitting there for 45 minutes to an hour and nothing. And also learning a good way to carry your baby and breastfeed at the same time and having your hands free will really help you. So definitely invest in researching how you can carry your baby and breastfeed at the same time and have your hands free, especially when you have an older child. So basically the question is, can I overfeed my baby with breast milk? You can if it's in a bottle. You cannot if they're on the breast. And so bottle feeding is very important. Learn about paced bottle feeding. I have a video that talks about that. And that mimics breastfeeding a little bit better and less likely to overfeed them. So definitely check out a video. If I can, I'll try to link that below as well so you can check that out. I hope that answers that question for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Please take a moment to hit the red subscribe button. If you do so, I think you can either hit notifications on, and that will let you know whenever I upload a video. I try to upload a video at least once a week for the breastfeeding class. Sometimes it may go 2 weeks, but I definitely try to get at least one once a week. And I like to post my videos and the subjects, how I kind of like choose the subjects is concerns that I hear mom having and asking. And so it's kind of like an opportunity for me to, do a video and discuss that subject. And one of the best ways is a mom who's breastfeeding because she has all those questions right there, like she's dealing with it in the moment. So definitely, if you have questions, please leave them below or email me if it's a more personal question. I also have a Facebook page. You can check that out as well, and you can message me through there if you have a question with that. So I hope that this answers your guys' question. I hope that you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in my next video. I'll talk to you later. Bye.